एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे, आपस में आप डिस्कशन करेंगे, हो सकता है डिबेट भी हो, फिर सब अपने पॉइंट्स बना के जरूर लाएंगे, सबके सामने मैं नोट्स देखूँगा। सब प्रिपेयर हो क्या है? कुछ अपोजिशन है कि ऐसी? वेरी गुड।
Of today's session, host taking, obituary reference, introduction of new ministers, question asked, calling of attention motion. New members to take oath or affirmation. Secretary General.
Yes, Honorable Madam. Mr. Siddharth, who stands newly elected from the Jaisalmer constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath or affirmation. Sir, do you want to take the oath or affirmation? Sir, in which language would you like to take the oath?
I, Siddharth, having been elected a member of the lower house of the youth parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India.
Who stands newly elected from the Kadapa constituency of Andhra Pradesh, will now take the oath or affirmation. Ma'am, do you want to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath please.
Ma'am, in which language would you like to take the oath?
In English.
I, Reena Javed, having been elected a member of the lower house of the youth parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty which I am about to enter.
Ma'am, do you want to take the oath or affirmation? Ma'am, in which language would you like to take the oath?
मैं रामशी, जो युवा संसद की सदस्य निर्वाचिका हुई हूँ, ये शपथ लेती हूँ और सत्यनिष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञा करती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति श्रद्धा रखूंगी, देश की संप्रभुता और एकता बनाए रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने जा रही हूँ उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वाहन करूंगी।
Mr. Aditya, who who stands newly elected from the Puri constituency of Odisha, will now take the oath or affirmation. Sir, do you want to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
Sir, in which language would you like to take the oath?
Hindi, please.
मैं आदित्य कुमार से जो युवा संसद का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूँ, यह शपथ लेता हूँ और सत्य निष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञा करता हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति श्रद्धा रखूंगा, देश की प्रभुसत्ता और एकता बनाए रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने जा रहा हूँ उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
Honorable members, it is my sad duty to inform about the current demise of former member Srimati Kiran Maheshwari. Srimati Kiran Maheshwari was a great leader and tried for social. She was a reflection of ease and simplicity, always different. So, on behalf of the House, I would like to extend my heartfelt condolences to the great family. India grieves the passing away of Mrs. Kiran Maheshwari. She established herself in Konarpuri in the field of Mahila Jagrati by organizing a group of women activists in BJP. She organized several campaigns by consolidating women workers and promoting Mahila Morcha in a number of villages. The Ayodhya Car Seva and Delhi Rally showed her devotion, dedication, and integrity towards society. She was known across Rajasthan for her corruption-free administration, quick solution of public issues, constant communication with the masses, as well as giving due respect to the allies. She was an extremely active worker of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Her hard-working nature and zeal for development and social reforms will never be forgotten. I extend my deep condolence to her family.
Good thoughts never end, good deeds never end, good people never end. Kiran Maheshwari ji will always be remembered for her good deeds, be it as an MP, MLA, or cabinet minister in the Rajasthan government. She made numerous efforts to work towards the progress of the state and empower the poor as well as the marginalized. Condolences to her family. Om Shanti.
The house may stand as a mark of respect for the departed soul. The Ministry of Irrigation, Ms. Nikita Pandey. Ministry of Food and Supply, Ms. Avanjot. And Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Ms. Joshika. Now the question now begins. Question number 101.
Madam, I would like to ask question to the welfare of Agriculture Ministry. Thank you. Honorable Minister, as we all know that during this pandemic, massive loss has been faced by the farmers of our country. What steps the government took to benefit them and help them in these tough times?
Honorable Agriculture Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, we have taken several steps to help farmers cope up with the loss incurred during the pandemic. We have decreased the rate of interest on modern farming equipment. And we have also extended the date of tax payment. Now, question number 102 by
Honorable Speaker, Madam, my question is to Honorable Health Minister. Every year there is a flow of bird flu, but there is no vaccine against it. It is a highly infectious and severe respiratory disease in birds caused by H5N1 virus. Due to this virus, every year India faces loss of crores, economic falls, and the food sector is also affected. So, what are the measures taken by the government against it?
Honorable Minister of Health, please. Honorable Speaker, Madam, as we know, in India, presently 4 states are affected by this transmissible disease. They are Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, and Kerala. The government has issued an advisory to each of the states, that is Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, on 1st January 2021, so as to avoid the further spread of this infection under the guidelines of NAP, that is National Action Plan. Another advisory has been issued on 5th of January 2021 to Himachal Pradesh, where the state has advised to take measures to avoid the further spread of this disease due to poverty. Measures suggested to the states also include strengthening of biosecurity of poultry farms, disinfection of affected areas, proper disposal of carcasses. Thank you, ma'am. Now, question number 103 by Ms. Christina.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to raise my question against rural development. In many cases, we saw the instruments of rural development are not properly selected and are not getting the valuable output. To get the successful objective in the given time, what will be the measures taken by the Ministry for the growth of rural areas?
Rural development, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to say, the steps that are taken by government to measure the rural development are public health and sanitization, literacy, female employment, and enforcement of law and order, land reformer. The basic necessity of rural areas are food, shelter, clothes, basic literacy, primary healthcare center, and security. Providing basic facility of healthcare for each and every people, providing free education for poor children, providing a loan for rural areas to build their own small-scale business. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, question number 104 by Mr. Kaushik.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, my question is to the Home Minister. The government gave any stimulus packages to the state to tackle the pandemic situation, and what were the steps taken by the government to ensure the employment of the poor people who lost their jobs due to COVID-19?
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the Centre in its 5th Trend additionally gave resources to the state in which the borrowing limit for each state was increased from 3% to 5% for fiscal year 2021. This will also give the state an extra resources of Rs 4.28 lakh. The government has taken various steps to ensure employment in the country, as we all know that the COVID-19 pandemic has caused crisis due to the unemployment. So we have introduced the Vocal for Local scheme, which encourages the shopkeeper to sell locally made products. Through this scheme, the government aims to generate interdependence and revenue. We have also introduced another scheme which financially helps the unemployed, which is the Atal Bima Vyakti Kalyan Yojana. Thank you.
105 by Ms. Neha Bedani.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I would like to raise my question to the Ministry of Education. Calamities, be they natural or man-made, always affect the underprivileged the hardest. COVID-19 is no exception.
I agree the government has taken a lot of initiatives to help the poor students, but they depend on the semi-literate and the illiterate parents to teach their children, or the community involvement of mobile kids, which anyone with the understanding of rural India knows is impossible. How do you let virtual learning reach the grassroots levels? And does the privileged only have the right to education?
Any question to maintain the record? Honorable Education Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, equality to opportunities to all is one of the basic principles of the Constitution. हम सबको पता है कि लॉकडाउन के दौरान सारे विद्यालय बंद थे, but the government made sure that every student got their education and could continue their studies with minimum problems. Social media platforms like WhatsApp emerged as the most preferred medium through which students got their study materials. The students who had no access to social media got their study materials through personal visits by teachers and the other school staff. Recently, a survey was conducted which shows that nearly 60% of students in rural India use textbooks to study during the lockdown period. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, I would like to raise the question for the HRD Minister. How the private institution raise the funds based on National Education Policy 2020?
Honorable Education Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the National Education Policy 2020 indicates the need for the better learning and teaching methods, but it nowhere states the fund collection, the information regarding the fund collection of private institutions. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, my question is for the Education Minister. Taken as a proxy indicator for ECD, Early Childhood Development, the stunting rates show that more than a third of India's children are not growing and developing optimally to their full potential. There are critical gaps in the quality of early childhood education programs. This also implies that nearly 20 million most marginalized children are left out of preschool with worse impacts on their survival, growth and development. What is your government's opinion on this major issue?
Honorable Education Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, schools play a vital role in the child's mental, physical and social development. Schools provide midday meals and the midday meal scheme aims to increase school enrollment and school attendance. It also aims to prevent malnutrition among students of rural India. Schools organize vaccination drives for all age groups. This protects the children from serious illness and complication of deadly diseases. Schools spread awareness about various schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. These schemes encourage the parents to send their children to school and help in their development. Thank you.
Now, question number 106 by Mr. Pradyut.
स्पीकर मैडम, क्या विदेश मंत्री यह बताने की कृपा करेंगे क्या सरकार का विचार विदेशों में भारतीय श्रमिकों के शोषण के खिलाफ पर्याप्त सुरक्षा प्रदान करने के लिए कोई कानून लाने का है? यदि हाँ, तो फिर संबंधी ब्यौरा बताएं।
Honorable Minister of External Affairs, please.
Thank you, ma'am. The International Convention on the Protection of the Rights of all Migrant Workers and their Families has a comprehensive set of rules with regard to the particular situation of a migrant worker. The main thrust of this convention is that persons who qualify as migrant workers are entitled to enjoy rights regardless of their legal status. On June 20, 2020, an employment scheme was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi with an outlay of 50,000 crores for the migrant workers who returned to their home states during the coronavirus-induced lockdown. Thank you.
Now, question number 107 by Mr. Ayush Kumar Singh.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to raise the question on women child development. What steps are taken by the government for development of women and empowerment of women.
Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development, please. Honorable Speaker, Madam. Well, one thing that everyone should remember who is present in this parliament today, that the pandemic has affected equally to every citizen of country, irrespective of their gender, age and religion. But according to the statistics, the government has recorded that many parents in Karnataka and many other states have enrolled themselves to the ICDS, that is, the Integrated Child Development Services, that provides food, preschool education, primary health care and many more facilities to children under 6 years of age and to lactating mothers. Now let us talk about facilities that you were asking me. The new started scheme, that is an improvisation to the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, with just one call, the women of our country will now be able to book their gas cylinder within just 24 hours. Even those set facilities has also been started by Anganwadi workers. Well, I should tell you that prior to the pandemic, many children couldn't make to the Anganwadi centers, but because of this doorstep facilities given by the workers, more and more children are able to connect to the Anganwadi schemes. Thank you.
Rape is the fourth most common crime in India. According to 2019, 32,300 rapes were registered in the court, and according to 2020, in 1 lakh women, हर 1 लाख औरत में 22,172 women were raped. And we're talking of LPG gas scheme. We see on an average, for a one single refill, they need to pay 3 to 200 rupees. And on an annual, the poor need to pay 3 to 3,500. It's very difficult for a poor.
Yes, the government has launched schemes for that. First is the Child Protection Scheme that was launched in 2009. The ICPS is administered at the state level by the state child protection companies and societies, and at the district level by district child protection societies, among other institutions. The Women Helpline Scheme engages 24-hour emergency and non-emergency responses to affected women by violence, including sexual offences both in the public and private spheres. The Mahila Police Volunteer Scheme was launched in collaboration with the Home Affairs for the engagement of MPPs of states and union territories. It is a central sector scheme that includes to serve as a public policy interface to the women distressed. The scheme also creates a link between the police authorities and the local authorities and local communities to facilitate police outreach on gender concerns. Thank you. Supplementary questions?
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, my question is to the Minister of Women and Child Development. I want to ask her that whether the government is contemplating to launch any new or unique schemes in the northeastern states like Assam and Madhya Pradesh.
Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development, please. Yes, the government is planning to do so. The first scheme that the government is planning to launch is Pradhan Mantri Vandana Yojana. It is already introduced in 2017 by our ministry. It is a conditional cash transfer scheme for pregnant women and for lactating mothers. The Adolescent Girl Scheme is another scheme launched by the ministry under RCDS that primarily aims to break the intergenerational life cycle of nutrition and the gender disadvantages and providing a supportive environment for self-development. Lastly, the National Red System is centrally sponsored scheme being implemented by the ministry, which aims to provide daycare facilities to children of 6 months to 6 years of working mothers. This is also helping the women to become a protective member of the society without any tension about their children. Thank you. I request you to maintain the record. Now, question number 100. steps taken by the government to improve rural areas, especially during the lockdown period when the salaries was reduced?
Honorable Prime Minister, please. Honorable Speaker, Madam, the following are the steps taken by our government to improve the rural areas. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission. During the lockdown period, we have made the following provisions for the people. Early payment of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi installments to the farmers. We have provided additional funds of more than 4,000 crores to the states under Manrega to increase the wages under Rural Employment Guarantee. Thank you.
Now the question hour ends. The message of the upper chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, ma'am. I have to report the following messages received from the Secretary General of Rajya Sabha. In accordance with the provision of Rule 127 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Rajya Sabha, I am directed to inform the Lok Sabha that the Rajya Sabha at its sitting held on 20th September 2020 agreed without the amendment to the Farmers Production, Trade and Commerce Bill on the 17th September 2020.
Now let us take up the following attention motion. Ms. Priti Nair, please call the attention of the concerned minister.
Yes, ma'am. Honorable Minister, can you explain everyone that why was the government in such a hurry to pass this Farmers Bill 2020?
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, since 74 years of independence, no concrete step has been taken towards the development of the agriculture sector, which is sad knowing that 60% of the country's population is dependent on agriculture. This bill aims to revolutionize the agro sector by making farmers independent and by removing the middlemen.
But the farmers are about to lose their rights of their own lands in the hands of the big companies.
The rule does not say so. Instead, it gives farmers more choice. They can now sell their produce at the MSP or at the mandis or to the corporate.
But the peace of the country is completely disturbed because of all the violent protests taking place in our country. When will they come to an end?
Our talks till now were not decisive. We are positive to reach to a conclusion through talks. We too are concerned about the farmers protesting in cold conditions.
But when will the farmers bill be removed?
The farmers bill is actually for the benefit of farmers. They are being deceived on these historic agricultural reform laws by the same people who have misled them for decades. It is about time that they understood the actual benefit of this law.